apparently this is a unique thought. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. I think Ellen White's a prophet. Okay. I don't necessarily think she has to be infallible, but I think her teachings are inspired. I do think the Bible's infallible. I don't think Ellen White, everything she ever wrote, but that's a whole can of worms, because I absolutely do affirm her is inspired. I just don't think anything she ever said has to be infallible, okay? But I don't say that because I have anything specific in mind. That's my approach, okay? But I do think she was inspired and that people should agree with what she has to say. I just don't think it's our source of doctrine either. But I do, like I said, there you have it. So, but let me speak to this, because this may be a place where she said things. Although it's very interesting how clever people can get around certain statements on the Bible or anything else. Okay? So for whatever that's worth. So I could probably wiggle my way out of saying she disagreed with this in some way, but I don't really care. That's not the point. But I know a lot of Adventists don't think what I'm about to say, it would seem to me. And that is regarding children after the resurrection. I do not think in Matthew 22 that Jesus is declaring, because of the trap of the Sadducees in Matthew 22, that he is declaring that nobody will ever have children again after the resurrection. Okay? I know Adventists never taught about the Genesis 6 being angels and humans. And I think what we do teach on Genesis 6 is correct. But I think it may also be true that it's referring to angels leaving their habitation in heaven, taking on a new oikaterion and mating with women. I think that's highly possible, but I don't think that's the real point of Genesis 6. It is talking about men, and the evil of men, why God destroyed the earth. But angels could have contributed to that, and there's reasons to think that I won't get into. But I don't think that means we're wrong. I just don't think we taught on that in the early days. And I think what Ellen White has to say on Genesis 6 regarding men is correct, okay? But I also think that there's reasons to think the other view is also correct regarding angels. Okay. So when Jesus said in heaven, they neither give in marriage or are given in marriage. Look, we won't be finding spouse. We won't be making babies in heaven. That doesn't mean we'll never make babies in heaven. I mean, again, I think he is saying in heaven, neither angels nor humans dwell in heaven. Because that's where we go during the resurrection, to heaven, to look at the books. There's a marriage supper of the Lamb. There's a purpose to what we're doing in heaven, and the purpose of heaven and what we're doing there after the resurrection is not a time for making children or finding spouses for making families. We won't be doing that in heaven. We're busy looking at the books, judging, so God can wrap up history finally and restore heaven and earth on a restored Eden. Now, here's a question for you. If that's not true, why think we'll never have kids again? Don't bring in your weird Augustinian sex is bad. Sex is awesome. Okay? It's good. It's a blessing. And so are children. I mean, do you really think God wouldn't have us make more humans in an absolutely restored earth and extend the family of love in an eternity from there forth? I mean, I'm not a Mormon, but I'm just saying, like, why wouldn't we make more babies? There's no more sin. Remember, God didn't institute marriage and making babies after the fall. He instituted it before the fall. Man was meant to create like God did, and in the way God gave us to do that. We're going to have babies in the eternal estate, and you can't stop me.